Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's show. I do hope you've had a wonderful week. As you can see, it's a bright and sunny day. It's getting warmer by the day. Now, today is going to be a really amazing day. I've got a guest with me who's got an interesting story. So sit back, relax, grab a bite, something to drink, and enjoy the show. Do watch to the end and remember to share the story. Remember to like, to comment, and to subscribe if you're not part of the family. So let me introduce my guest. Welcome, Addmore.
Thank you very much. So my name is Addmore Tendai Mawere. I am 25 years old. I live in Las Palmas de Gran Canaria in Spain, and I play football there, and I'm studying as well.
Wonderful. Please just say that name again. You live in what?
Las Palmas de Gran Canaria.
I'm gonna try and say that. You know, I feel so blessed to have him because he's actually leaving tomorrow.
I am.
Yeah, so I got him in the nick of time. Yeah, so I know you've got a very inspiring and motivational story to tell us. So please just go ahead.
All right. I think to tell the story best, I'd probably have to start with a bit of a backstory.
Sure. Yeah.
So I grew up in a Christian home.
Okay.
My mom took me to church every Sunday and Wednesday evenings for Bible study.
Oh, nice.
So that's how I grew up. And it's what I've always known.
Okay.
And I think maybe when I got to 15, I went on a Christian camp called Zamholes, which was very big for teenagers.
Okay.
And I think on that camp is when it became my decision.
Okay.
So it transitioned so much from being something my mom made me do to something I actually wanted to do. And I made friends that were Christians as well. And I mean, it's always better to do anything when you do it with friends, like all your close friends.
Exactly.
So that was literally my life, like plugged into that camp. And then I was in CF as well at school.
Okay, nice.
CF is Christian Fellowship, which is every Friday night would meet, have some worship, someone would speak. So it's like a church service, so to speak, but at school.
Okay.
So I was part of that, involved in leading that in my later years at school. And I was always involved in some sort of youth leadership, if it wasn't Zamos. And then I got plugged into, so I go to Baptist Bible Church.
Okay.
And I was plugged into the youth as well there. I'm helping with leading and everything like that. So all this is to say that there was a lot of Christian influence in my life.
Your foundation was very strong.
Yes.
Yeah, that's
and I remember when I finished high school, I think I got to a point where, because I took a preaching course.
Oh, you took a preaching course?
I did.
Oh, wow. I like that. For a young person, that's very, very, very interesting.
So on a Monday, I'd have a preaching course.
Okay.
Preaching class. On a Wednesday, I'd have Bible study.
This is after you left school?
After I left school.
Okay.
So Monday, preaching course. Wednesday, Bible study. Friday, I had youth.
Okay.
And then Sunday, I'll go to church.
Okay.
So that's 4 of the 7 days with this constant spiritual food and fellowship.
Yeah.
Because sometimes, even if per se, like, sometimes I'll just go for my friends because my friends are there and I'm excited to see my friends. But the thing is, once you're there, you get plugged into the worship.
Yeah, you
do listen to the word. And so even I almost took it for granted, which I'll touch on a bit later. But it was just so much spiritual food. And so now what happened with this is that I started to think that I was such a strong Christian because it was me.
Yeah.
I thought, no, I do all these things because it's me.
So I must be strong.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So for the longest time, before leaving, that was the mentality that I had, that, oh, I am on fire. And it's
I'm well grounded. I can't be shaken.
Yes, because it's me. And I think that part, I'm emphasizing that part because it'll be relevant a bit later on.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that because like, it's me.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, so 2021, I went to Spain for trials with the team. And
that's for soccer, right?
For soccer, yes. And that went well, so I got signed. And I've been living there ever since.
Okay.
And being there, when I first arrived, I remember I arrived and then I Googled the church.
Okay.
So actually my first Sunday there, I actually went to a church there, an international church.
This is during COVID?
No. So this was so it was after COVID.
After COVID, yeah.
Yeah, after COVID-ish.
Yeah.
I mean, the masks and everything were still there, but yeah. So I went to a church and at this point, I was just coming from home. So I was still very much, I remember because I left before completing the classes for my preaching course. Okay. So I actually took some of them remotely. So whilst they were in class, someone would dial me in and then I'll do that.
Okay.
So at the beginning, I was still very plugged in, but I was plugged into the things from here.
Okay.
So I was still helping out with youth from here.
From here.
Just with ideas and speaking to the people that were still leading it.
At your church?
Yes.
Okay.
But eventually that obviously phased out. Because I mean, I think the longer you're gone, the more, I don't want to say irrelevant you are, but then there's people that are here that can probably run with things a bit better. Exactly.
Yeah.
The people that can take over. And they did.
They did. Okay.
And then I think moving to a different country with a different language, a different culture, different food.
Different food.
Different, everything different. It was not easy.
Okay.
And I quickly realized that these strong foundations that I had, that I thought were because of me and because of how great I was, so to speak, I in fact was not that great.
You're not.
And it was actually the people around me.
Okay.
The fellowship, the company that I kept.
That's what was helping you while you were here?
That's what was helping me whilst I was here.
Okay.
Because then now I realized, like I mentioned earlier, sometimes I would go, not so much because I wanted to be at church that badly, but I had friends there that I wanted to see on a regular basis. And that's what we did. We went to church, we went to youth, or, you know, Bible study as well was another thing. But now that wasn't there.
Okay.
So now it was just me and me looking at myself in the mirror. And it was such a reality check. And it wasn't like from one week to the next, I stopped going to church and everything changed. It was so gradual, which made it so dangerous.
Yeah, it's very subtle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it started being, in the month, there's 4 Sundays. I'd go 3, I'd miss the 1.
And you just rationalize that I've gone for 3.
And it's like, it's just 1. And then it became, I would go for 2, I'd miss 2. And then I'd feel guilty, so I'd go for an entire month, and then I'd miss an entire month.
Okay. Like alternating.
But it was gradual.
Yeah.
And then I reached a point where I think I went 8 months without going to church. And when I think about
It's quite a long time.
It's a very long time.
No virtual church even?
Nothing.
Okay.
And like I'd, open the Bible every now and again, which already was a weakness for me before I left.
Okay.
Quiet times.
To have it daily.
Yes. To do it, that already for me.
Was a challenge.
Yes. Was already.
Even in a strong environment like Zimbabwe. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That already was really, really difficult. But yeah, so I went 8 months, and also I mean, to put it plainly, I started going out a lot more. And like where I am, there's not a lot of Christian influence.
Oh, is it?
There's not a lot.
But Spain is it Catholic?
It is Catholic.
But that's more like the religious part.
Yes,
but
not faith.
Practicing Christians. That's what you mean?
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay.
And even with that, even like the church that I go to, I would say a lot of the people that go there are either really young, so the children of people that are a lot older than I am.
Okay.
And there was not, and even till now, there's not a lot of young people,
Really?
young adults that I would say are plugged into the church.
Oh, they're there, but they're not plugged into the church.
If they're there, I haven't met them.
So even just the general population.
Even just the general population. They're not, yeah. And for a lot of them, because I've had conversations, it's just not a thing. Because like for us, a lot of us were, and parents in Zimbabwe do such a great job of this, dragging you to church.
They do. You appreciate it when you're older.
100%.
Let's go to church.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
No choice.
Mm-hmm. Just also on this, there's this song, Little 1, 2, 3. It's Little Miracles, I think, by Maverick City.
Okay.
And there's a one verse where he's talking about how I was talking to Jesus. That's the name of the song. So talking to Jesus, and he's singing about how he used to get dragged to church and he hated it, but now he's talking to Jesus. And now he's learned to talk to Jesus because he was dragged to church every Wednesday and Sunday night.
Powerful.
Literally that. And it's such a great thing. Whereas now the parents don't do that because maybe they're not plugged in themselves.
Yeah,
and if
so
they
you
are,
can't
it's very
say
different.
do as I say and not as I
Yes.
do. You can't say that.
It's very different. Here, if my mom says we're going to church, we're going to church.
You're going to church. You can't argue. You are going.
We're going to church. Whereas there, children have more, I don't want to do this, I want to do something else. Okay, you do what you want to do.
Oh dear.
So because of that, you can find parents in the church, but their kids are not in the church. So all that is to say that I struggle to find Christian friends
Okay.
for fellowship. And that's what made me realize first how important fellowship is,
Okay.
and how much it was a strong pillar of support for me.
Okay.
Whilst I was here. Yeah, so just continuing on. So I was there now, so I'm not really plugged in. I'm missing church ever so often. I started going out a lot.
With your friends?
With my friends.
From your work, your soccer?
My teammates. Because I mean, it's a typical thing. After a good win, you go and you celebrate. After a tough loss, you go and you forget about the loss.
So whichever way.
There's always a reason.
Yeah.
And I kind of got sucked into that.
Okay.
Not kind of, I did get sucked into that.
Yeah, to be part of like the team.
Yeah.
Of like, yeah.
And I've always had reasons to justify it. Until I wasn't justifying, I just wasn't going.
Okay.
And I remember, so like in that period where I went like an extended period of time, I would play on a Saturday, then I'd go out, I'd get home on a Sunday, 5 a.m.
Okay.
Maybe.
Sleep the rest. So obviously you can't go
And
to
then I'm
church.
asleep. And then I'm asleep. And that became a habit.
Okay.
And now missing church became the habit. Because now even if I didn't go out, because I also quickly realized that wasn't that exciting for me.
Okay.
I think it's just not something I particularly enjoy.
The going out.
The going out.
Okay.
But now the habit of not going to church I'd already cultivated.
Okay.
So now I would sleep early on a Saturday. I'll still wake up and
still not go to church.
Still not go to church.
Okay.
And a lot of things were also going wrong in the sense that, so my first season when I was there, I didn't play that many matches. I think I played only 3 matches out of 38.
And just so that the audience know, what position do you play?
I'm a goalkeeper.
Goalkeeper, okay.
And also, I think also for a little bit of context, I was coming from a place where I was the captain. I played every game. I always made cheers. Which is cheers schools. I was the first name on the sheet from when I was in Form 3.
Yeah.
So I got used to that.
You were used to winning.
Exactly.
Being a winner, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then going to this place and pretty much being told you're not going to play
Must be
was
hard.
difficult.
Yeah, yeah.
And I didn't lean on the right things. I didn't find comfort. I didn't find purpose. I didn't find, comfort in the right place and in the right thing. And I started trying to do things in my own strength. So I was like, okay, if I work harder, I will play.
You'll play.
So I worked harder and I didn't play.
And you didn't play.
And I also kind of then got upset with God because I was like,
what's happening?
I'm working so hard,
Yeah.
but nothing's happening. And then at the same time, I had problems with my paperwork,
Okay.
with my residence permit. And that then limited options.
Yeah.
And that was difficult. So now I'm in a situation where the very reason why I moved there, I feel like it's not happening because I'm not playing. Stuff with the paperwork is not working out. I don't know anyone. I'm away from my family, and that also takes
That's
a toll.
difficult.
Just generally missing your family,
Yeah.
missing my mom, missing my sisters. I have 2 older sisters. So it was a lot.
You were like isolated in a way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I felt alone. And I pretty much just got upset with God.
Okay.
So then now it became a thing of, I'd already cultivated that habit of not going to church. And now I'm upset with him. So now it's like, I'm definitely not going.
So I'm not going.
Because
it's not working.
nothing is happening. And then because I also had this mentality, and I think this is important as well. I had this mentality coming from here where I was like, I'm a good boy.
Okay.
And if I'm a good boy, everything must work out perfect because I'm a good boy. I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't go out, I didn't go out.
You didn't go out before you left? Yeah.
And it's like, and I kind of thought that like faith or my relationship with God is based off of what I do and how good I am. So
it's a trap that a lot of people fall into.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was deep in that trap.
Yeah.
So then it was like, but I'm good. And I think also like, I think we also have a habit of rating sin.
We do.
Where it's like, I don't do this and I don't do that. So I'm not as bad.
I'm not as bad.
I'm actually good. I mean, I tell the little lie here and there. I may not give my mom back her change when she sends me somewhere and then use it to pocket, stuff like that. It's like,
it's not bad. I haven't killed anyone.
Exactly.
I haven't, done a robbery or anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I was very much
like that.
100%.
Getting comfortable with sin.
Very comfortable, as long as it's not grade A sin.
Yeah.
I remember one of my friends, we call it that. It's like, there's grade A, grade
there's
B.
There's the lower grade.
Yeah,
well.
So it's like, as long as I don't do grade A sin, I'm fine.
Yeah.
And again, so like I was just saying, like, so I definitely had that mentality. So now when I was like, I am this good person and nothing is working out, so it's like, so what's the point of being this good person? I might as well do what I want to do or, give in to temptation every now and again because, I mean, I've been good and nothing's happened. And what's funny and what I find so interesting is that in a moment where I would say I was very much living in sin, God pulled through for me in ways that absolutely humbled me.
Really? Wow.
And I'll dive deeper into that. But so like, again, like when I went and I was this super Christian and then everything was going wrong, left, right and center. And then it was like, so what's the point? And I think God did that intentionally to teach me that there's nothing you can ever do that can make me love you more. And there's nothing you can ever do that will make you love me, that will make me love you less.
That's so powerful and it's so true.
Yeah.
Wow.
Because like, I mean, I was the furthest I've ever been in my life from God. I was not praying. I would go weeks without praying.
Okay.
I'd go, Bible. I don't know because I always preferred the physical Bible. I think I went months without touching it. I got to the point where I didn't actually know where it was.
Wait, what? Oh my gosh.
I didn't know where it was.
Oh yeah. That must have been a long time.
It was a long time. And then, so like I was saying, I was in this, probably in the lowest where I've ever been, living in sin, and just struggling with my faith, struggling a lot. And God pulled through for me in the most incredible ways. I think in a series of a couple of months, I finally got my permit, which I didn't have for an extended period of time.
Okay.
And then I finally started getting minutes.
Like to play?
To play. Okay. I started getting playing time.
Wow.
And there were a lot of other things which now, because everything is, worked out, so to speak, I can't remember, but there were a lot of other things as well that weren't really working out. Even like little things like with the apartment I was in and trying to find one, which is very difficult. I'm pretty frankly, as a foreigner, it's very, very difficult
to find accommodation in that part of the world. Okay.
Yeah, and accommodation of good quality.
Good quality.
Yeah.
And affordable.
Exactly. So it's
everything balancing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
things started coming together. How was your faith at that stage? Still shaky a bit.
It was definitely shaky. But I had I had two of my friends visit in short succession, which I'll now actually mention their names because it was very, very helpful for me. So one of them, her name was Marita.
Okay.
She's from the UK. She's from here. She's in the UK. She's working there, rather. And another one is Kuzo, who I believe you know.
My son.
So they visited me in quick succession. And I think it was in the same month, or it would have been maybe late in one month and then early in the next one. But it was very...
It's 2023, I think, 24?
24. No, 23, yeah.
I think 23.
Yeah.
I don't remember.
So they came to visit, and just spending time with them and having conversations with them, it sparked something, which I actually haven't given credit to either of them for that, so I probably should.
They're going to watch this.
Yeah.
They're going to watch this.
But just from having conversations with them, it was just a reminder of how good God is and how faithful He is.
He is.
And it was also a reminder of who I am, and that is a child of God. And I remember after these two experiences, after they had both left, and I think it was so planned because they came again in one after the other. So I think one was kind of like breaking the ice and the other one was just to drive it home.
Yeah.
And I remember I just got to this point where I'm like, I'm just going to let go and let God.
Okay.
I'm going to stop fighting, because I think all the way from when I was at school, I always had this like, if I push for something, I'm going to get it. If I push to play first team, I'm going to play first team.
You always relied on your own ability.
Yes.
Yeah.
If I, like whatever it was, that if I want this position in leadership,
I'll get it.
As long as I work for it, I'm 100% going to get it. Yeah. But I reached a point where it was like, and that was kind of my mentality as well, going there, even when things were not particularly working out. And I reached a point where it was like, I'm just going to let go and let God. I'm going to do the small things. So I'm going to go to training. I'm going to train diligently. I'm going to eat the right things and everything. And I'm going to put my best foot forward in everything. But I am not going to force anything. That's not, just not going to force anything. And what was incredible was that things just started falling into place. And I believe it was God's timing and God's planning as well. Just for me to learn that lesson, that it's His will, and to let Him be in the driving seat of my life, and for me to just step into the passenger seat and just let Him absolutely drive the car that is my life.
Yeah. I like that, because when you speak of someone being in the driver's seat, it means they're in control.
Exactly.
They are in control of the vehicle.
Exactly.
You just have to trust the driver and sit and trust you're going to get to your destination.
Yeah. And I hate being driven.
I kind of do as well. That's because usually people who hate that are people who want to be in control.
Yeah.
Always like, you're like panicking.
Exactly. So I had to just let go.
Yeah.
And the way things just started falling into place. And even with that, it was just, for me, the overarching lesson in all of that was just that He's in control.
Yeah.
And I'm a child of God, and I live for Him.
Amen.
And I live to glorify Him and to lift up His name.
Amen.
And especially when I went there, I always used to rely on the faith side, even just in general, on my own strength, on my own abilities, on, my character, on my charisma, on all these things. It's just always how I'd been. And I think it got into my head that all the things that I had, for example, here, that I'd achieved, it was because it's me.
Of you, yeah.
And it's because...
your own strength.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I think my biggest lesson in moving has just been, it's not me.
It's not you.
It's God.
It's God.
And...
simple, yet so profound. So profound.
And it took me time to accept that.
Yeah.
And in some ways, I am still accepting that, because after having had a certain mentality for years, you don't change from one day to the next one.
No, it takes time.
Yeah. And I think another thing as well that I learned is what I was touching on earlier, about how I came from Zimbabwe, which is such a Christian bubble.
Yeah.
It's such a...
We're actually so blessed, hey? We are so blessed.
And I 100% took it for granted.
Yeah.
So like all those things I was mentioning, that I'd have Bible study on this day, youth on that
you could
day.
Pick and choose, eh? And like a buffet of, of
like
things.
This is like, oh no, like, okay. I remember I had a point where, so I used to go to Baptist Bible, which is 9 a.m. on Sunday, but I had some of my closest friends that go to River of Life in Greystone Park, the evening service. So I would go to BBC, it's called on the morning, then I'll go to GP in the evening, which is 2 services.
2 services, you could even go,
and I thought it was because I love the Lord so much. But I realized, but I realized, you know, and also the power of friendship.
Yes.
And the power of choosing the right friends and the company you keep.
Those who encourage you in the Lord.
Yeah.
Very important.
And going there, I did not prioritize the company I kept.
Okay.
And it's such a challenge. And after having now conversations with lots of people that are overseas, it's such a challenge that a lot of people go through.
I've actually heard that sometimes when people go to even like university, a lot of people end up actually abandoning their faith. It can be as bad as that.
Yes. And it's so real.
It's so real.
Because you go from hearing one way of living, or like being surrounded, encompassed in, you know, such strong foundations, and then you go somewhere where no one is also asking you questions.
Holding you accountable. Yeah.
And I think that's for me as well was so big, because I realized that I wasn't naughty here because I didn't want people to say, did you guys hear what Addmore did? Did you guys hear that Addmore got involved in da-da-da-da-da? And then now I was in a place where no one cared.
No one cares. You can do what you want.
You can do, and you know, I think one of the words, you know, integrity.
Yeah.
I learned what integrity really is.
Yes.
Which is how you behave when no one's looking.
Yes.
And my integrity was challenged.
Very important, yeah.
My integrity was challenged because, again, no one to ask me. No one knows me, so no one knows.
No one's going to report on you. Nothing.
And also, I'm in a culture, in an environment where it's also normal.
Very permissible. Yeah.
So even if you get stuck into, I don't know, rapid dating culture, for example, it's normal. No one cares.
Yeah.
In fact, you're almost kind of questioned if you're not. Like, what's wrong with you? You know? And for me, that was a challenge. The fact that there was no one to hold me accountable. And having conversations with mentors from back home and people that I used to walk alongside, friends, I would omit certain information because I know the questions that will come.
Tell them what they want to hear.
Exactly. Oh, have you been to church? Yeah. And it's so bad. I even had like, because my mom...
basically lying.
Lying.
Yeah.
My mom
the
always...
lower grade sin we were talking about.
My mom always used to ask me, like, church, like, what do they preach at church?
Oh yeah, that's a...
Yeah. And, but she never picked up on it, that I always used to use Matthew.
Okay, what did you say? Like,
Matthew 5, salt of the world, light of the world, Because you don't ask me like every week. So I'd always use that, always use Romans 12.
You don't think, you know, sometimes moms pick these things. Maybe she picked
I think she did. Yeah, I think
she just didn't tell you.
Because funny enough, she noticed the difference
Yeah.
when I got plugged into the church again. And she was like, something is different about you. And I was like, really? And she just laughed, but she didn't say anything.
So she was praying for you, I can tell you that. Yeah, because that's what mothers do.
That is what mothers do. That is what mothers do.
You talked about when you got plugged into church. So now, how did then that happen? You get plugged back into the church.
So I always had a church that I was going to.
Okay.
But when I first went, and I only realized this later on, I was very tactical about it in the sense that I sat at the back. I didn't really talk to people.
Okay.
Because talking to people means making friends.
It does.
Which means making Christian friends, which means being held accountable, which means I maybe now if I don't come to church on a Sunday, someone's going to have to ask me why I didn't come to church on a Sunday.
A lot of people would rather be lost in the crowd, but they can tick that I went to church.
So that was exactly what I was doing, to put it plainly.
Yeah.
I would go, I'd sit at the back. And then sometimes during closing prayer,
you leave.
I would just get up and make my way.
So that no one can say, hi, you must be new or something. Yeah.
Exactly. And there was, so the lead pastor, he was really, really incredible with me. From the church in Spain.
Okay, this is like a charismatic church. What kind of a church? Is it like a Catholic church or?
No. It's a good question.
Or traditional church?
It's not traditional. It's similar to
the one you were.
The one I was going here.
Okay.
Yeah. Pentecostal?
Yeah.
Yes.
Pentecostal.
Yeah.
Okay.
But modern.
Modern.
Yeah.
Okay. So you were saying about your pastor there.
Yes. So he was incredible with me because he would actually come to watch my games.
Oh, that's really great.
And he would come with his family, and he had two daughters at the time.
Really?
And they would be asleep, but they would be there.
Yeah.
And there was a time when he was coming with a youth pastor as well.
Oh, wow, very encouraging.
And it got to a point where a lot of the, like some of the youth goers, the youth kids, would come as well.
Nice.
So it got to a point where maybe it was getting to about 10, 12, 15 people.
Wow.
Thanks. Which was incredible.
Okay.
But at the same time, I was in my naughty phase.
Okay. So now you have to start watching it, eh?
Sometimes I would maybe not mention when I had a game.
Oh, and they're like, oh, you should have told us.
Yeah, or maybe I'll then say after that, oh yeah, I played yesterday. It's like, oh, why didn't you say anything? And I'll be like,
sorry, next time.
But I mean, looking back, it was really incredible because he definitely, and I didn't realize it at the time, but shielded or like helped me with a lot just within myself.
Okay.
Because there were still nuggets of reminders of who I am and what I stand for. But then what happened was that, so he's actually from the United States.
Oh, he's an American pastor?
Yes.
Okay.
And he is part of a missionary organization, so he's actually placed there. But he had to go back for a certain period of time. And so when he left, and he was the one, him and his wife, they were so incredible. They would invite me to the house for dinner and everything.
Wow.
And it was actually when he left, when the 8 months of me not going to church happened.
Oh, okay.
And that's when I realized that I've always had some sort of support system that helped me stay plugged in.
And he had just left.
And he had left.
Yeah.
And now, like the other people, like at the church, which, I mean, I never used to speak to them. So how can they know me? How can
they wouldn't.
And I mean, any type of relationship is a two-way street.
Yeah.
If they speak to you, you also need to make that extra step and go chat to people. But then I used to just go sit at the back and kind of just hang around at the back and then leave.
This is after the pastor had gone?
Yes,
okay.
This is after the pastor had gone. And this was there again before the encounters that I mentioned with my two friends that then happened, which I'd say like...
That helped you?
That helped me a lot and just grounded me as well and just served as such a reminder. But so again, it's like during that period, it was just honestly me just being lost in the world. And again, I mean, this kind of like the whole grade thing, because it really is how I think, but I wasn't selling drugs or doing anything like that.
Nothing illegal.
Nothing illegal, nothing, you know.
So you'd backslidden, really?
I'd backslidden.
Okay.
And I was just comfortable.
Yeah.
And I got comfortable at not pursuing the Lord. Because like any relationship, even if you're in a relationship, in a marriage or in a friendship, you have to make time to see each other.
Yeah.
You have to speak to each other. You have to communicate. And I wasn't doing that. And if you don't do that in any relationship of any capacity, it suffers.
It does.
And my relationship with God suffered because I stopped communicating and I stopped prioritizing and I stopped putting him first and making an effort. Basics of any type of relationship. I stopped doing that. And because of that, I backslid.
Yeah.
And my faith, it suffered.
It suffered.
And then that mixed with a lot of the difficulties that I was facing being in a new environment. And a lot of the temptations as well.
Yeah.
Just, again, things that are normalized.
Yeah.
That I know are not right. But because it's part of the culture. So it's so easy, consciously or subconsciously, to kind of just get stuck into the way of life there.
Yeah. Like, oh, this is just the culture.
This is just, it's normal.
Yeah.
Like, it's normal to not go to church. Like, again, it's nothing hectic.
But if it becomes a habit.
It becomes a habit.
Yeah.
And as we know, like in the eyes of the Lord, all sin is sin.
Yeah. You can't actually grade it.
There's no grades.
Yeah.
And to put it plainly, I was living in sin.
Yeah.
And I was not living in the Lord.
Yeah.
And
but how, so did it change? You know, you talked about how your things started working out. Was that like a wake-up call for you, or not really, to say, despite the way I am behaving, God has come through for me?
So that was literally it. The word grace comes to mind.
Yes, that's the word, grace.
And there's a song called Blinded by Your Grace, which is, this guy is singing and talking about how he's been broken, but he's blinded by God's grace, because even in his brokenness, God has always been there and he's always pulled through, which for me was just the most incredible thing. I think the biggest lesson for me was there's nothing that I can ever do to earn his love.
Yeah.
I live for him, not so that I can get something from him, but because of what he's done for me.
Amen.
Because that he sent his son to die on the cross.
Amen.
And for that, I must live my life for his glory.
Him. Yes.
Not so that I can get something. It's not going to make me any more lovable, any better in his eyes, because he already loves me. I'm already fearfully and wonderfully made.
Yeah.
So that can never change.
Yeah.
But I must live a life that glorifies him.
Yes.
Not so that I can gain anything. Not so that I am better in his eyes.
Yeah.
But because he loves me.
Because he loves you.
The same way when a parent loves you, when a parent is there for you, you listen to them.
Yeah.
You respect them. You communicate with them. You are in relationship with them. You tell them things. You are honest with them. You are obedient.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as a child of God, I have to be obedient to my father.
Yeah.
Not to gain anything, because that's the mentality I had.
Yeah.
So that was probably my biggest lesson. Not to gain anything.
Not to gain anything.
But just simply because of who he is and who I am in him.
Yes.
And who I am because of him.
And because he first loved you.
Because he first loved me. So that's just probably for me the biggest lesson. And that I am not super Christian as I thought I was. But I'm just Addmore, who's just loved by God.
Yeah.
And who's cared for by God. Who makes mistakes and will make more mistakes in the future.
But he loves you anyway.
But he loves me anyway.
Yeah.
And navigating that overseas and just like figuring out how to live. It's probably been my life in probably the last few months since I lost more than a year actually. I'd say 18 months or so.
Okay.
It's been. I think it's just me learning how to live in the foreign land as a Christian.
Okay.
I would say it's been my life in the last 18 months or so.
So it's almost like starting over, but now making the decision that I've got to do something about this.
Because actually just reminded me of something. I used to put so much pressure on myself when I was like in that space where I was far away from God, to be the Addmore who was in Zimbabwe, who was Bible study, So there was always that comparison of, I want to be like that.
That was like your ideal.
Yes.
Okay.
But when I actually am honest with myself, even then I was living in sin. It's just the grades.
The grades. the
grades were my problem. Because I graded it.
Yeah, yeah.
But if I'm brutal, if I sit down and I look at myself in the mirror, nothing really changed. Just that people now didn't care. Whereas here people
made it
cared.
easier, actually.
Yes.
Yeah.
But nothing changed.
Nothing changed.
And that was a reality check for me. And I'm really glad that I got to have this experience where I was in an environment where I'm living in an environment where it's permissible. Because now, like you said, I've restarted back from zero. And I'm just learning again to live for God. And what does living a life that glorifies God really mean?
Yeah.
And what does it really look like? And that's what I'm learning.
Okay.
And that's the space that I'm in. And I'm much happier. Even if things don't go right, because there's still ups and downs. There's still problems that come up, which there always will be.
There will be. The Bible tells us that there will always be trouble, but he has overcome the world.
Exactly. And he has overcome. Not he will overcome.
He has already.
He has already.
Yeah.
And because of that, I'm much happier.
Yeah.
Even if something goes wrong, I'm like, I know who sits on the throne. I know who rules the world. Nothing that can trouble me, nothing that troubles me can defeat me.
Amen.
Because he has already overcome it. Doesn't mean my life will be easy, which I thought in the past.
Yeah.
But it means that I have someone who I can walk alongside all these trials and tribulations.
Who's stronger and who's more able.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Someone to lean on.
Yes.
Someone who I can trust. Because I cannot imagine me going through life not trusting in the Lord.
That would be a very frightening and difficult thing, I think. But I think you needed to go through this, to experience it for yourself. Then maybe it will also help you, and maybe to help others also.
Yeah.
To give them guidance or to counsel them and encourage them. Because you understand firsthand.
Yeah.
You don't have to imagine it, you lived it.
Yeah.
So sometimes those are the biggest testimonies.
100%.
Yeah.
And yeah, my encouragement because I've had a lot of conversations with people here at church, and they've asked me, and I've just been so honest that it was difficult to come out of this bubble, to go overseas, and to live for God.
Yeah. I
struggled. But I got the reminders that it's about God.
It's about God.
It's not about me.
It's not about you.
I struggled because I thought it was about me. And because I made it about me.
Yeah.
That's why I struggled. Yeah. If I had gone and I had known, or I'd been reminding myself that it's about God and who He is. Mistakes, I'll always make mistakes. Nobody's perfect.
No one's perfect.
But I think I would have navigated, especially the beginning part of my journey there, a lot better.
Yeah.
I think I would have stayed stayed rooted a lot better and a lot more than I did.
Okay.
So I think just that learning that it's not about me, and just learning about how big God's grace is, and that I can never earn it. There's the song Reckless Love. I love music, which is why I keep bringing up this song and that song.
Reckless is a lovely song.
Yeah, and the overwhelming, never-ending, reckless love of God. I couldn't earn it. I don't deserve it. But still you give yourself for me. Because He gave His only Son for us.
Amen.
And we don't deserve it. I definitely don't deserve it. And I could never earn it. And I really, and I used to sing it a lot when I was here, but I understood what I was singing when I went there.
When you went there.
That I cannot earn it. And I don't deserve it, but still He loves me. And it is reckless, because I look at the mistakes I've made, knowingly and unknowingly. And yet He still loves me. And if we were to kind of bring it into an earthly kind of way of looking at it, it is reckless. How can you love someone who continues to hurt you, who continues to go against you, who continues to disobey you?
Yeah.
It's reckless. I mean, if we look at it from a...
Because in the natural, you'll be like, I'm done with that person. That's not God.
And it's not God.
Yeah.
So I think I've just learned the depth of His love.
So many lessons there. Wow.
It's been a journey.
And I like the way you keep mentioning music. I was going to say, I think that could be one of the tools that can help people when they're far away to make a conscious effort to listen to Christian music. Not only, but I'm saying that can help to feed your spirit.
Just incorporate it.
Incorporate it.
Yeah.
That can actually help you, because a lot of the words, they challenge you, they encourage you, they rebuke you, they correct you, but they draw you closer to the Lord.
100%.
So I think if one does that, maybe it can be 100%, but a lot of times that can, I'm sure that also must have helped you.
Even on that, just reminded me of something. Whenever I'm listening to music, especially if I'm driving alone, I've noticed I start praying.
Okay.
Like if a Christian song comes on, if a worship song comes on that I feel I really relate to, it never ends there.
Okay.
Whenever I listen to one, it turns into another one, turns into a prayer. And I've noticed that. I noticed this recently when I came back. And I've just found that very interesting. So it's just touching on what you're speaking of. And it can be a great way to have those quiet times that I told you I struggle with.
Yes. You just start with music.
Exactly. Because music, I mean, who doesn't love music?
Yeah, everybody loves music.
And the beauty even of worship music is there's different styles. There's different, there's no one size fits all. No. There's no one type of worship music. As long as it's the Bible's being spoken and the truth is being spoken, any worship music is, it goes. It
goes. And the words go so deep as well. They remind you of who you are.
Exactly.
Who you are in Christ.
Exactly. So like now, how are you balancing? I'm sure now you're back at church and everything. I am.
How are you balancing just generally with your career? Because I think there you were saying the space where sometimes you find challenging.
Yeah.
You don't always find, well, not everyone's a Christian, obviously, in the workspace, but how are you balancing that, or are you managing to kind of manage that situation now?
So, first, I think the thing about me is I've always been a strong character.
Okay.
With whatever I believe in or whatever space I'm in.
Like an influencer in a way.
I'd say so. I mean, I've been told so.
Yes, I picked that.
So,
as a former head boy, deputy head boy, yes.
Yeah. Okay. So, as long as so now my priority is just being spiritual food.
Okay.
Going to church. And if I can't make it to church, I've gotten plugged in now more. So I meet up with people from church and I go sometimes. I can't always make it to Bible study because of training, the time that they train. But when I can, I do go.
Okay.
So going for that, because then when I'm back in that environment, as long as I'm fed, spiritually fed, I'm a lot stronger. Okay. I think if we use an analogy of fuel and a car. When a car is fully fueled up, it drives and it's more powerful and everything. But then when the fuel is a bit low, the performance decreases. Even with food.
Yeah.
When you eat, you're full, you can train better.
You have more energy. Yeah.
You have more energy. But if you're not, or if you don't eat the right food as well.
Yeah. It affects you.
It affects you. Yeah. You're more sluggish.
Yeah.
Etc. etc. So now my priority is just making sure that spiritually I'm fed.
Okay.
And I'm fed with the right food. Because now when I go back into those environments, which everyone lives in, no one can be at church 24/7.
Exactly, you cannot.
You have to go to work.
You have to
go to school. You have to. That's life.
You have to mingle with people of different faiths
100%,
or of no faith.
100%. But it's so important that you have the right food, because then that sustains you.
Sustains you. Yeah.
When you're now in those environments.
Yeah. Because you can't change your environment always.
You can't.
So
I think it's important as well. To go into those environments and to be the salt of the world, to be the light of the world, to be, there's this very popular saying that you might be the only Jesus that someone ever sees.
Yeah, the only Bible people will read.
Ever read. Yeah, that's
and
it's so true.
It's true.
It's so true. And it's so
not necessarily
important.
quoting verses and stuff. It's maybe just the way you carry yourself, your integrity, things you talked about.
Exactly.
Just people will be like, there's something different about this person. Let me find out what it is.
Because something very interesting is I've had so many people come to me and say, I've noticed you don't swear.
Oh, serious?
I've had so many people, because for me it's normal now, because it's something I was very intentional about from when I was younger.
That I don't swear.
That I don't swear.
Wow, well done for that. That's a very difficult thing for young people who want to express themselves with swear words.
Mm-hmm.
They've done that. Okay, people.
I've had so many people ask me, and I've had so many people now hesitate swearing or apologize for swearing.
That's good.
And
that's influence.
And I found that so interesting, so where this started was because when I was in Form 1, my head of house used to swear a lot. And I didn't like that.
Okay.
So I was like, if I ever get into those positions, I never want to swear. And I'd like to believe, to the best of my ability, I never did when I did get into those positions. Okay. And it's something that then just carried on, because I think those are your formative years. So if you do start to swear at that age, it kind of carries you through. On. Yeah. So it's just something sometimes I do enjoy rap music, so I may slip out at one or two when I'm singing.
There's gospel rap music, so
exactly. But in general speech, I don't. It's not even something I think about. But like I was saying, a lot of people have brought that up, and I find that very interesting. Because you mentioned how you carry yourself and how you speak.
Because that's like a lifestyle. You don't think about it. That's who you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so interesting because a lot of people have brought that up.
That's good. You're being the salt and light.
And you had asked a question earlier, which I can't remember, but I remember what I wanted to say about that.
Okay.
Which was, it's so important to go into those environments, the work environment, etc. And it's what I learned, that it's not avoiding I'm not going to go overseas, I'm not going to go back because the culture's different and a lot of things are permissible and things like that. But it's about, I'm going to go there and I'm going to live for God in that environment.
I'm going to make a difference.
And I'm going to make a difference.
It's always for us to remember that we're in this world, but we're not of this world.
Exactly.
Because that we are in this world. You cannot get away from it. So you're very right about that.
And I think, I remember the question now, which was me getting plugged into the church. What have I been doing now, etc.
Yeah.
So it's just that, making sure that I go to church on a Sunday.
Okay.
Making sure that I am even spending more time with people that are Christians. One of my friends started virtual Bible study with some old boys from Peter's that we've just been, so we meet regularly.
This is online?
Online.
Oh, that's good. That's actually something that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot of guys that, for example, Kuzo is a part of, he's in Poland. I have another friend who's in Poland who's involved. There's 2 guys in South Africa, 2 guys here in Zimbabwe. There's one in the UK, and there's 2 in the United States. And then we meet every Sunday evening. We were going through a book called Purpose-Driven Life. And then we'll just go through a day, because it had days. And then we'll just chat about it.
Okay.
And then after that, just kind of have like general...
chit-chat, like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
And... it's that food.
Yeah.
So it's finding practical ways of, because I think I also made excuses of, but I always have training, or when there's Bible study, or I always have this, or I always have matches on the weekend. So sometimes I can't go to church because I have matches.
Even Sunday, sometimes I know that happens.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But then it's like, stop making excuses. How many episodes do you watch of The Vampire Diaries, for example, which is a show that I love?
Yes.
And I was like, remove one episode, 40 minutes.
Get in something else.
And you can get something else.
Spiritual.
Exactly.
But I also like what you're talking about all these people you're connected with, Poland, UK, and so on, because the issues we were talking about at the beginning, that can actually even be a solution to even a permanent solution where, for some reason, because some countries you may actually, depending on where you stay, you may not find a physical church.
Yes.
But if you have something to look forward to, like Sunday night, we have church.
Exactly.
Online church. Because you're meeting as the body of Christ, and that's kind of a church, an online church. That can be something that can help someone, their faith, when they're isolated.
Yes.
Where they've got no one else, but they're like, okay, I've got homework, I've got to do this chapter.
Yes,
I think that's a very good idea.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Or in addition to meeting. Yeah.
And I think another thing as well is being honest with the people that you need to be honest with.
Okay.
With your friends, your band of brothers, for me, for example. Because we can meet and they will ask me, Addmore, are you struggling with anything? And I can say no.
Yeah.
But you have to be honest with them. And I think that's also important.
Yeah, you have
because
to be
you can be in those environments.
And still be deceitful.
Exactly. Because I did it.
Yeah.
Then they ask, are you okay? Yeah, great. Are you struggling with anything? No. How are things with the faith? Nah, things are great. Are they?
They keep asking you.
And you have to be honest as well.
You do if you want to be helped.
Yeah. And I think that's also an important thing, and maybe another encouragement as well. As much as you want to be plugged in, because we all have different struggles.
Yeah.
And you have to have people around you that you trust, that you're close with, that you can open up to and just say, listen, I am struggling with ABC, or, I've had ABC on my mind, or I'm having these doubts, or I'm having these questions, or whatever. Because then that way, those meetings are very helpful.
They're helpful.
Or
if you don't want to be in a crowd, you can just, maybe after that, just connect with one of them to say, I couldn't say it when there was 7 of us.
Exactly.
That also can be. So there's no excuse.
Yeah.
You'll find somebody who you can maybe connect with and talk to from that group even.
Because we always joke around and say in every big group chat, there's a smaller group chat of 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So
that happens even physically at school. Exactly. So you can always say, no, but I can't talk. There's 10 of us. Let me just connect with this one person.
Yes. So, and I think that's so important, is finding people to walk alongside.
Yeah.
And that's the beauty of today, is they don't have to be there with you, but you have to be honest enough with yourself and with them.
Yeah.
And, you then they'll be checking up on you. depending, let's say you're struggling with an addiction. So you can set targets.
Yeah.
And you have to be honest with them when you do slip, if you slip, when you don't, because that's how growth happens and that's how we defeat some of these things that we go through.
Community.
Exactly. Fellowship. Which goes all the way back to what I mentioned before, is that I was in such a strong community that I took it for granted.
Yeah.
And then when I went there, I realized how important that community is, which would be an encouragement for people that do go overseas. It's just, your community does not have to be there with you, but you have to make time for it.
You have to make the choice.
You have to make the step.
Wow. So much in there. And I think also it touches on mental health issues, because you can find that what you were talking about, it can get to a stage where there are mental health issues. And a lot of people, I think, actually do face that, where they can no longer cope, or they feel condemned, or they feel they can't go back to God, or it's too late, and that kind of thing. So you don't want people to get into that stage, because that can be also very dangerous, on the extreme side. So,
and it's so real.
Yeah.
Going there, feeling isolated, being isolated at times. It's so real, and it's so important just to talk.
It is just to talk. Just need people to talk to.
Because I have one of my friends. His name is Neil. We were in school together. He lives in South Africa. Sometimes he calls me, complains all about his troubles, and then he says, anyways, I'm good now. Thank you. And I haven't put a word in. I haven't said anything. He just calls and he's like, then they did this, and then this is not happening, and this and that and that. And then he's like, yeah, but anyways, I'm feeling better now. How are you? What's going on? Like,
it's the psychological effect. That's why even some people intentionally even go to psychologists. A lot of people frown on that, but it's actually pretty normal, because
100%.
they are just there to listen. They're not there to judge, and not always there to give you solutions. But if you talk, you may even answer yourself.
That's
and
so
be
true.
like, okay, I think I'm okay. Let me come next Tuesday again.
Yeah.
People need that.
Exactly.
Like kind of like a therapeutic approach where you can just talk and just be yourself, without any fear.
Yeah.
It's important. Well, I'm glad things have worked out for you. I don't know if there's anything else you want to add before your parting words. Because I think a lot of young people, of course, a lot of these principles apply also to older people, but I think it's the younger generation who fall trapped a lot of the times to some of these things where they don't know what to expect. They're just excited, like, now I've finished school and no more boundaries. I can just go out there and live my life. Yeah. But if you're a Christian, I think it's sort of, there's a different approach. And even if you're not, I think people can learn a lot from the things you're saying. So maybe you'd like to just give some take-home message there, maybe before we close off.
Yeah, I think probably, again, just reiterating my biggest lesson, which was I can never earn God's love, and there's nothing I can do to make him love me more or make him love me less. And I should just live a life that glorifies him because of who he is and because of who I am, and that is a child of God. And I think that's the first thing. And then, again, I just want to give an encouragement to those guys that do go overseas. And even if you don't, because some of these things you can actually deal with right here. It's just spiritual food. Be plugged in. Put him first. Like the way you cultivate any relationship, you have to cultivate your relationship with God. You have to put him first. You have to communicate. You have to, again, do all the things that you do in any relationship. He is number one, and he should be the priority. Step into the passenger seat and let him drive. Let him be the driver of your life. Let him take control of your life. And just be plugged in and live for him. That would probably be my encouragement.
Wow, thank you.
And then maybe just one more practical tip for those that do go overseas, because I think that's really on my heart, is just get plugged in, whether it's virtual, which we've touched on extensively, or physical. And have people that you're accountable with, and be honest with those people that you are accountable with. And I think that would probably be my biggest encouragement. It's difficult out there, but he has already overcome it.
Amen.
There's nothing in this world that can drag you down because of he who is in you. There's a scripture that says he who is in you is greater than he who is in the world. And that is my encouragement to you. And with that, I think
Well, thank you. I was going to ask you, do you do any preaching?
I do. I do.
I picked it. I picked it because you seem so passionate about what you're talking about. Well, thanks so much. Thanks for making the time.
Thank you so much for having me and for giving me this platform just to share my journey and just to share some of the real things that I went through that I'm so sure that a lot of us are going through.
I think so.
And yeah, I hope it helps someone out there, someone who can relate to this. And yeah, thank you so much for this platform and for this opportunity.
You're welcome. Thank you for your boldness. I think it was bold for you to share the story and for your openness. And we'll probably catch up with you in a couple of years to find out what you're doing in Spain. So
Amazing.
wishing you all the best.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming. And I pray that you have a safe trip back tomorrow.
Thank you so much.
Okay, then. Thanks for watching, everyone, to the end. Remember to share the story so that other people can learn, other people can be strengthened and encouraged. I will see you next time. Bye-bye.